Hello, and welcome to Art with Miss Michelle. Today I'm going to show you how to make a recycled art project that could be used as a vase or a candle holder. For this project, you'll need a jar, preferably a medium to large jar, and maybe one that has a cool or unique shape. This one's pretty plain, but I think it would be good for a vase or to put a little battery-powered tea light into. You're also going to need some tissue paper. These are just pieces that I had lying around from gift bags, so you can see if you have any lying around your house, or if you want to buy some. If you need more colors, you can do that too. You're also going to need some Mod Podge, a disposable paintbrush, or a paintbrush that is kind of old that you don't care if it gets a little bit gluey, and something to pour your Mod Podge into. A paper plate would be fine. And then I have some things that I'm going to use to decorate. So I have some butterflies that I cut out of some magazines. And I was thinking about making some leaf rubbings. So just a paper and crayon and some leaves. And then some string or ribbon to tie around the top when you're finished. So the first thing, I already did this, but I took my label off my jar. I still have a little bit of the residue on there, but that's okay because I'm going to cover it up. So as long as there's no like really dark words or labels, you should be fine. If there's a little bit of paper or glue on there, it shouldn't matter. So I'm going to take my tissue paper and I'm going to cut it up into kind of small pieces about an inch or so. And they don't have to be a certain shape, but I want to try to make them all a similar size. Okay, so once I have my tissue paper cut up, I'm going to pour my Mod Podge into my container. And if you don't have Mod Podge, you can make homemade Mod Podge by mixing 1 cup of Elmer's glue and 1/3 of a cup of water. And it works best if you have the non-washable type of Elmer's glue. If you have washable, you can use that, but your project won't be waterproof, so I wouldn't recommend using it as a base. It could just be for decoration. So to stick these on, I'm just going to put a thin layer of Mod Podge onto my jar. And I'm just going to do a portion of it at first. And then I'm just going to start sticking my pieces on. And I can overlap them a little bit. And then I can put another thin layer on top. And that's going to hold them on really nicely. And I'll be able to see through these a little bit. It kind of gives a little bit of a stained glass effect. So you could use a lot of different colors. It would actually be really cool if you used like primary colors and overlap them to see if you could do color mixing with your tissue paper. If you had like all different colors, you could do a rainbow, like start with red and then fade to orange, yellow, green, blue. I just have these 2 colors lying around, so I'm just gonna kind of do the top with white and then fade down to orange as I get towards the bottom. So I just want to overlap them just a little bit and try to cover my whole jar with the tissue paper. And I could either, see, I'm just stopping right at the jar lip, but if you wanted to, you could actually fold these over into the inside if you didn't want to see this part. This sticks to the jar pretty well, so you should be able to fit it on. If you wanted to fold it around, it should work pretty well for you. So it works pretty well too if I kind of, when I'm putting the Mod Podge over the paper, I kind of give it like a little tap with the brush to push it onto the jar and then smooth it out. And one thing that I haven't mentioned yet is that these might make a good Mother's Day present. So you could choose some nice colors that your mom might like. Okay, so once my jar is covered, I just want to kind of go around, make sure I got a nice layer on top of all my tissue paper. I also have to be kind of careful of the bottom down here so I don't stick it to the newspaper. So I'm just kind of holding it up and going around all the parts, making sure everything's covered. And then I'm gonna add my decorations. So I found some cool leaves. I found these pictures of butterflies. I found an orange one, so I thought that would match my orange tissue paper. And then these just kind of go with all the butterfly theme. So I'm gonna make some leaf rubbings to go with my butterfly theme too. So I'm just gonna take a crayon and peel the paper off, because I'm gonna need to use the side of my crayon. I don't want to use the tip right here, even though I feel bad. This is a fresh new crayon and I'm already peeling it, but it's for the art project. Okay, so I'm just gonna put my paper, and I'm gonna make sure to use the bottom of the leaf. I can see the veins stick up more on the bottom. So I'm gonna put my paper over the bottom of these leaves, and I'm gonna hold it down with the hand that I'm not holding the crayon with to make sure it doesn't slide around. And I'm gonna pinch my crayon so it doesn't roll. And I need to press down kind of hard, and I'm just gonna go over the leaves. And I can go over them a couple different times if I need to, but I should be able to see all the veins on the bottom of my leaf really clearly, and they look really cool. So once I do that, I can cut these out. And then I don't even need to wait for this to dry. I can just start putting my decorations on. Now, if you just like the way it looks, like with the tissue paper, you don't have to add any decorations, but they're always fun. You could also, if you wanted to wait for the Mod Podge to dry all the way, you could paint over it if you don't have any cool pictures or anything that you want to add. I wouldn't paint the whole thing because then you won't get the nice look of the tissue paper, but if you wanted to paint like some designs on it or a couple little simple pictures or a pattern, that might be cool. And I kind of got this over the corner of the jar, so it's not sticking that well, so you might want to just try to get it on the flat part, but I'm already committed here, so I'm just going to try to push it down with my brush, and I should be able to get it to fold if I push down enough on that. And then I'll just stick some of my leaves down here. I just want to make sure I space these out nice and evenly. And then do a layer over top of the leaf. Okay, so this is pretty much done. I have some nice decorations on here. I'm just gonna add the finishing touch, which is a little piece of string tied around the top, if I can find the end. Okay, so there's my project. Hopefully you can make this with things you have around your house. And maybe you can make a nice Mother's Day present for your mom. Put some stuff on there that your mom likes. So I hope you like this video, and happy Mod Podging.